I told my husband my ex was bigger in every way, his career, his confidence, even his hands. I thought it would push him to be better. Instead, he walked out, took our daughter, and started thriving without me. Now, I'm stuck watching from the sidelines as they build the life I thought I deserved. I'm Riley, 32, and honestly, I never thought my perfect little suburban life would implode like this. You know that Facebook highlight reel everyone has? Yeah, that was me and Arnold, high school sweethearts turned marriage goals. We had our routine down, a 3-bedroom house in a nice neighborhood, weekly date nights at Longhorn, matching Christmas pajamas with our daughter Lily. Basic. Maybe. But it worked, even if things with Arnold were getting a little predictable. Then Michael moved back to town. Now, I should probably mention Michael's my ex from college. We dated for 2 years before things fell apart, him chasing his career, me not ready for the whole power couple lifestyle. When that friend request popped up on my Facebook, I didn't think twice about accepting. I mean, we're all adults here, right? Michael was totally respectful about everything, always asking about Arnold, and even trying to be friends with him. Like, who does that? Most exes are straight up toxic. But Michael would comment on our family photos, saying how happy we looked and invite Arnold to play golf, just being genuinely nice. At first, Arnold tried playing it cool, but I'd catch these little looks when I'd laugh at Michael's comments, or mention running into him at Target. Arnold would drop these hints like, "Don't you think it's weird how often he's around?" Or, "Maybe we should set some boundaries." But I just rolled my eyes, like seriously, you're threatened by someone who's just being friendly. I told him he was overthinking everything. Michael's this successful marketing director married to his job, totally not interested in drama. Besides, Arnold's got this stable accounting job, he takes care of Lily and never gives me any real problems. Sure, maybe I checked Michael's profile more than I should have, and yeah, sometimes I caught myself comparing them, like how Michael's always posting about his business trips and charity galas, while Arnold gets excited about his fantasy football league. But in my head I'm like, Arnold's not going anywhere. I mean, let's be real, where would he even go? He's comfortable, settled, sometimes too settled if you ask me. So when he tries bringing up his concerns about Michael, I just remind him how lucky he is that at least my ex wants to be friends with him. I tell him most guys would love to have that kind of relationship. Arnold just gets this look on his face, the same one he had when I told him Michael was coming to our neighborhood barbecue next weekend. But whatever, if he wants to be insecure about it, that's his problem. It's not like I'm doing anything wrong. What I didn't realize then was that I was about to learn exactly how wrong I was. But isn't that how these stories always go? You think you're the one holding all the cards until the whole house comes crashing down. Things started getting weird after Michael joined our neighborhood Facebook group. He'd comment on my posts about needing coffee recommendations, and suddenly we were having these accidental run-ins at Starbucks. Arnold noticed, of course. He'd get this tight smile whenever I'd mention grabbing lunch with Michael, or when Michael would send him those golf invites that Arnold always had some excuse to dodge. "It's like he's trying too hard," Arnold said one night after Michael sent him another friend request. "Don't you think it's strange how he's always popping up everywhere?" I laughed it off like I always did. "Oh my god, you're being so paranoid. He's just being friendly. Most guys would kill to have their wife's ex be this cool about everything." But Arnold wouldn't let it go. He started pointing out how I'd drop everything to answer Michael's texts, even during our family movie nights, how I'd somehow work Michael into every conversation. Michael's promotion, Michael's new car, Michael's charity work. It was getting annoying, honestly. Like, sorry, my ex actually did something with his life while you're still working the same job you got right out of college. The real drama started when Michael posted about needing a +1 for this charity gala he was hosting. I commented something harmless like, "Sounds amazing, wish I could help." Next thing I know, Arnold's giving me the third degree about inappropriate boundaries and how I'm disrespecting our marriage. "You really don't see what you're doing, do you?" he asked, looking at me like I was some kind of puzzle he couldn't solve. "How would you feel if I was acting this way with my ex?" "Please," I shot back. "Katie from high school, the one who got fat and sells essential oils. That's hardly the same thing as Michael. He's successful, mature, actually has his life together." I caught myself, but the damage was done. Arnold just walked out of the room. But here's the thing, I wasn't doing anything wrong. Michael and I were just friends. So what if we had inside jokes? So what if I saved his funny Instagram posts? So what if I dressed up a little nicer when I knew I might run into him at the gym? Arnold was just being insecure, and honestly, his jealousy was starting to make Michael look even better in comparison. "You've got to understand," I told my best friend Sarah over wine. "Arnold's making this huge deal out of nothing. Michael's literally just being nice. He even invited Arnold to his fantasy football league. It's not my fault Arnold's too intimidated to accept." Sarah gave me this look, the same one I'd been getting from a lot of people lately. "Riley, are you sure this is about Arnold being insecure? Because from where I'm sitting." I shut that down real quick. "From where you're sitting? What? I'm married, aren't I? I chose Arnold, didn't I? If he can't handle me having a friendly relationship with my ex, that's his problem." Looking back, I should have paid more attention to those looks people were giving me. Should have noticed how our mutual friends were getting quiet when I'd bring up Michael. Should have seen the writing on the wall when Arnold started staying late at work. Hitting the gym, caring less about my opinion, But I was too busy proving I was right to realize I was about to lose everything. The next few months were like this weird game of chicken. Arnold started working later, spending more time at the gym, barely reacting when I'd mention Michael. Michael kept showing up everywhere, sending Arnold these long messages about wanting to build a real friendship, inviting us both to every event he hosted. It was like he was trying to prove something, being this perfect gentleman, while Arnold just got more and more distant. I started getting bolder with my Facebook posts, sharing throwback Thursday pics from college, obviously ones where Michael and I looked amazing together, commenting on all his business updates. So proud of you. Always knew you'd crush it. The likes and comments rolled in, but Arnold, radio silence. He wouldn't even react to my posts anymore. I just don't get why you're being like this. I confronted him one night after he skipped another dinner where Michael would be. He's making all this effort to be friends, and you're acting like a child. Arnold just looked at me, this weird calm in his voice. Do you ever listen to yourself when you talk about him? What's that supposed to mean? Last week at dinner with your parents, you mentioned Michael 17 times. I counted. I rolled my eyes so hard I probably pulled something. Oh my god, you're literally counting. That's not weird and controlling at all. You compare us constantly. He continued, still with that annoyingly calm voice. My job, my clothes, my friends, even my hands. Do you think I'm blind or just stupid? Maybe if you weren't so insecure, you'd change your gym schedule to match his. We're friends. Friends work out together. You hide your phone when I walk by because you're paranoid. He just shook his head. I saw your texts. My stomach dropped for a second, but I recovered quickly. Oh, so now you're spying on me, real mature. This is exactly why Michael's so much more. I caught myself, but Arnold's face told me he'd heard the rest anyway. So much more what? His voice was barely a whisper. Successful, confident, bigger. I should have shut up, should have apologized, should have done literally anything except what I actually did, which was laugh and say, well, if the shoe fits. Arnold got up, grabbed his keys, and walked out. I posted about it on Facebook immediately. Some people just can't handle strong friendships. Michael liked it within minutes. Arnold didn't come home that night. The next morning my phone was blown up with messages. Apparently Arnold had finally accepted one of Michael's invites. They were getting breakfast together, just the two of them. I felt this weird panic I didn't want to admit. I posted a throwback pic of Michael and me from college with some caption about true friendships standing the test of time, but something felt off. Michael didn't like it, Arnold didn't react, and my notifications were suspiciously quiet. I didn't know it then, but that breakfast would change everything. I was so busy trying to make Arnold jealous, so focused on proving I could have both of them in my life, that I didn't see the storm coming. And trust me, it was about to hit like a freight train. The neighborhood barbecue was supposed to be our thing. Arnold always grilled, I'd make my famous potato salad, and Lily would run around with the other kids. But this time Michael showed up. Apparently Arnold had invited him. They were acting all buddy-buddy, talking about sports and work like they'd been friends forever. It made my skin crawl. After a few glasses of wine, someone brought up how they'd run into their ex at Whole Foods. I jumped in, I couldn't help myself. That's why I love how mature Michael and I are about everything, like we're actually friends. Right, Michael? The patio got weirdly quiet. Arnold was staring at his beer and Michael looked uncomfortable for the first time ever. That's when Arnold said it, real quiet, but everyone heard. Yeah, especially when you're still in love with them. The wine glass nearly slipped from my hand. Excuse me? You heard me. Arnold's voice was steady, his eyes locked on mine. We all see it, Riley. Every post, every text, every accidental run-in, you're not subtle. Something in me snapped. If he wanted to do this here, fine. Oh, you really want to go there? Fine, let's go there. You want to know what everyone's actually seeing. They're seeing how Michael's bigger than you in every way. Want me to break it down? Let's start with the obvious, salary. He makes triple what you do pushing papers around some penthouse downtown, while you're still dreaming about a pool. Hands, please, biceps. He doesn't need a Planet Fitness membership to look good. Friends, everyone actually enjoys his company. Dreams? He's not stuck in some mid-level accounting job counting other people's money. Should I keep going? Because honey, I can go all night about how much bigger and better he is than you. Arnold just sat there with this defeated look on his face, and it made me even angrier. What's wrong? Isn't this the honesty you wanted? Should I mention how much bigger he is? Riley, Sarah tried to stop me, but I was on a roll. No, let's lay it all out. Michael's bigger in every single way. Confidence, ambition, success, and yeah, other things too. Stop me if I'm lying, Arnold. Oh wait, you can't because we all know it's true. Want me to continue? Because there's plenty more where that came from. Arnold stood up slowly, took Lily's hand and walked toward the house. Our neighbor Karen was covering her kids' ears. Sarah was shaking her head. Even Michael looked disgusted. What? I called after Arnold. You wanted honesty. I'm just telling you what everyone's thinking. At least Michael can handle the truth. The party died pretty quickly after that. As people left I overheard whispers. Can't believe she said that. Poor Arnold, that was brutal. Whatever, they needed to hear the truth too. Later that night, sitting alone in our too-quiet house, I texted Michael, want to grab coffee? Need someone who understands. His response changed everything. I think we need to talk about boundaries. We met at our old spot, this 24-hour diner where we used to go during college. Michael looked different somehow, tired maybe. Before he could start, I jumped in, Arnold's being Ridiculous, he pushed me to say those things. He never understood me like you do. I reached for his hand across the table. Remember how good we were together? Michael pulled back like I burned him. Riley, stop, just stop, you're married. You have a daughter, and you just humiliated your husband in front of your entire neighborhood. He deserved it, he's the one who, no, Michael's voice was firm. He didn't deserve any of that, and honestly, I feel partly responsible for this mess. I laughed, trying to play it cool. What mess? We're just friends, right? Are we? Because friends don't do what you did tonight. Friends don't constantly compare their husbands to their exes. Friends don't orchestrate accidental meetings or send flirty texts at 2 a.m. I've seen the way you look at me, Riley. The comments, the throwback photos, the constant need to prove something. And I let it go on because, I don't know, maybe I like the ego boost. But after seeing what you did to Arnold tonight, I can't be your backup plan, or your ego boost anymore. My chest felt tight. What are you saying? I'm saying you need to fix your marriage or don't, but stop using me as an excuse to hurt someone who actually loves you. You don't understand, I protested. Arnold and we're just not compatible anymore. He's not the one for what? For you. The woman who publicly humiliated him for not being big enough. Do you even hear yourself? The diner felt too bright suddenly, too exposed. So you're taking his side. Michael stood up, dropping money for his untouched coffee. There are no sides here, Riley. Just a woman who can't appreciate what she has because she's too busy chasing what she thinks she lost. He paused at the door. Try being happy with your marriage instead of destroying it to prove a point. After that, everything started unraveling. Michael pulled back, not unfriending me but leaving my messages on read, turning down lunch invites. Arnold went full ghost mode, only communicating through his lawyer. I started posting passive-aggressive Facebook updates about people showing their true colors and knowing your worth, but the likes were drying up. My friend list was shrinking daily. Even Sarah, my supposed best friend, turned on me. You need help, Rye. What you said at that barbecue, that wasn't just mean. It was cruel. And now you're acting like you're the victim. I tried playing it off. Everyone's so sensitive these days. I just told the truth. The truth? She looked at me like I was crazy. The truth is, you're still obsessed with your ex, and you just destroyed your marriage to prove some weird point. And for what? Michael doesn't want you either. That hit hard, but instead of admitting she was right, I doubled down. Posted more throwbacks, sent more messages that went unanswered, tried to run into Michael at his usual spots, but he changed his routines. Meanwhile, Arnold's lawyer sent divorce papers, and suddenly this wasn't a game anymore. This was real, and I was losing everything. I thought I'd at least get the house in the divorce, or full custody, or decent child support, but karma's apparently real because the judge took one look at our case, and basically laughed me out of court. Turns out those Facebook posts, great evidence of emotional abuse. That barbecue meltdown. Half the neighborhood wrote statements about it. My friendship with Michael. The timestamps on those late-night texts didn't help my case. Now I'm stuck in this tiny 2-bedroom apartment while Arnold got primary custody of Lily. The child support barely covers groceries since he proved he's the more stable parent. I get supervised weekends, like I'm some kind of threat. Meanwhile, Arnold's thriving. Got promoted to senior accountant, bought a house in that new development, by the good school, and started dating this gorgeous yoga instructor named Emma, who Lily absolutely adores. She makes the best chocolate chip pancakes, Mommy, Lily told me last weekend. And she helps me with my math homework. She says Daddy's really good at numbers too. Yeah, twist that knife, universe. Michael keeps things polite when I see him at school events, but there's this uncomfortable distance now. He's dating some pharmaceutical rep who looks like a literal model. They do couples CrossFit, or something equally nauseating. I heard through mutual friends that he told someone, Riley taught me an important lesson about respecting boundaries. Cool, glad I could help with your personal growth, Michael. Everyone says I got exactly what I deserved. Sarah straight up told me, you chose chaos and lost everything. My own mother took Arnold's side, says he's such a good father and how lucky Lily is to have Emma in her life. Even my therapist, who I only started seeing because the court recommended it, keeps trying to make me examine my patterns of behavior, or whatever. But here's the thing they don't understand. I pushed Arnold to become better. All those comparisons to Michael, they motivated him. That barbecue blow up, it finally got him to stand up for himself. If he'd just been this version of himself when we were together, confident, successful, actually standing up to me, I wouldn't have kept looking back at what I had with Michael. The worst part. I actually saw them together last week at Lily's school conference. Arnold and Emma looking like some perfect Instagram couple. He's lost weight, got this sharp new haircut, wearing clothes that actually fit. He looked bigger somehow, not physically, but like he was taking up more space in the world. He didn't even seem nervous around me anymore. Emma smiled at me, actually smiled, like she's not threatened at all. Meanwhile, I'm still checking both their profiles at 2A. I'm watching their lives get better while I'm stuck in relationship purgatory. My last 3 dates ghosted me after looking me up online. Apparently, the barbecue story made the rounds in our town's Facebook groups. Great. So yeah, that's how I ended up here, single, partly homeless, and watching my ex-husband thrive while my other ex won't even respond to my drunk texts. Everyone says I need to work on myself before I can move on, but they don't get it. I didn't lose Arnold because I was still in love with Michael. I lost them both because they couldn't handle how honest I was about everything. At least that's what I tell myself at night, alone in my apartment, while Arnold's living his best life and Michael's posting gym selfies with his new girlfriend. But sometimes, in those quiet moments when I can't sleep, I wonder if maybe, just maybe, I was the problem all along. Not that I'll ever admit that out loud.